And have you started? Because I want to make sure it gets recorded.
Are you recording?
No, I'm not recording.
Oh, I just started recording.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're just waiting for Keith. Okay.
Yeah.
He said he's coming in.
Yeah, I've got his square right here. I think he's just waiting to load in now. I gotta turn this light up.
Oh, there he is. Oh, look at this guy.
Yo.
You see him?
There we go. Can you all hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
Perfect.
Can you hear me?
Yeah?
Yeah, we can see you.
Excuse me while I pour out my grinder that I overpacked with hash and weed. Here we go.
Where'd you get that costume, Keith? Keith, tell everybody about how you go trick-or-treating.
Man, he looks fucking frozen.
Or is Priscilla too old for it now? They'd probably they'd be like, "Oh, your little brother can get some candy, but you're too old."
He's frozen.
So that's a true story, you know. Kevin, Keith, he'll go trick-or-treating with his stepdaughter, and everybody thinks he's a kid because he's like wearing a mask.
I go trick-or-treating without a mask. People open up the door and they go, "Are you in your 30s?" And I say, "Yeah." And they go, "All right." And they give me candy.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Hello. Can you hear me? Testing 5 4.
Hello.
Oh, we can hear you.
Internet.
All right. That's a dope costume. Where'd you get it?
I got this at Walmart a couple years ago. It was it's just like a hoodie. So.
Oh, it's like one of those full face zip-up hoodies.
Oh, yeah, that was a big thing for a while there.
Yeah, the full face zip-up hoodies, exactly.
I'm wearing my onesie.
Kabam!
I just put it through the wash, and the fucking cord came out of it in the wash, so I can't like scrunch up the hood to make me a fucking, anymore. But oh well.
Oh yeah, I see. Well,
so
let me pack a ball here.
This is I've got from the 1950s to the 2010s, and then I have 4 wild cards to throw in the mix. So I guess let's just start the show, and then I'll explain how the scoring will be done, I suppose. I need a fucking pen. I need a pen. I don't have a fucking pen. Oh, fucking cunt sakes. I need a fucking pen. Excuse me 1 second.
No worries.
So, Keith, how was off-roading on Sunday?
Now I have a pen.
Oh man, it was pretty fun. I had a good time. It was just me and Ryan Brady.
Oh yeah.
But, did you see the clips? Yeah, there's this pretty cool spot where you do some like rock crawling, and I am like an inch away from like bottoming out. Like,
oh man,
super close to the frame.
I think I need to get my keyboard out of here. Okay.
There's like a left side or a right side, and there was on the left side you could see where people were scraping on the rock. So we went to the right.
Oh wow.
and I did scrape on one rock at one point with my transfer case, but it just barely didn't scrape over it. It went over it and then dropped down and hit it, tapped it. So no damage, just a little tap.
Were you off-roading?
No, there's just a lot of potholes in San Diego. Really bad roads.
So, okay. So I've got 3 costumes for each decade. There's 4 in the wild cards. We're gonna, try to talk about each one, and then we'll rate it between 1 and 100 for each of us. I'll write down each of those numbers, and then at the end, we'll tally up the numbers and see which costume has the highest score, who wins the best costume for all time. Now,
nice.
Okay.
Welcome. Are we still going to do any of the other segments too?
I mean, I don't really have anything written down. Yeah. I figured this might take a little while. Sort of like those other ones that we did.
Well, I'll tell you what. I do have with Eric. I remember.
Yeah.
I do have a surfer put selection though that's kind of Halloween themed. I have Hell's Mouth and Devil's Island and Hell's something.
I like this. Let's do that still, and
Hell
then
and Devil Beaches.
And then let's do that as well. Then, yeah.
I did it last minute, but I think they're cool.
I'm so fucking high. Are you all ready to start?
Let's do it.
Welcome to the Earths Suckhole. On today's episode, we're getting close to Halloween, and when you hear this, it probably will be the day before Halloween or on Halloween. So we're going to rate the best costumes of all time. And after that, Spicoli still has his surf report selection. So, how you guys doing?
Doing good?
Hell yeah.
Awesome. I'm
doing good and spooky.
Extra baked tonight. So, I have 3 costumes, 3 the 3 most popular costumes of each decade written down here from the 1950s to the 2010s, and then I also have 4 wild cards. The 3 of us will rate them between 1 and 100, and then at the end we'll see which has the highest score, and that will be the best costume of all time. And we'll probably end up doing this again next year with a whole other set of list of costumes. And if you disagree with any of these answers, then you can email us at earthsuckhole@gmail.com and tell us to go fuck ourselves. So let's start with the 1950s and the top. How do you want to do this? You want me to say them all out at once, or do you want to go through them one at a time?
So just list them.
Okay, so the 1950s, the top 3 costumes.
I guess list them all at once.
Yeah. The top 3 costumes for the 50s were Cowboy, Mickey and Minnie Mouse, and Davy Crockett. So, Cowboy costumes, what do you rate between 1 and 100?
I'll give them a 1 in 100. I'll give them an 80.
Okay.
This was but this is in Canada even? This seems like more of an American thing.
This is a North American in general thing.
Oh yeah.
North America.
It's the only 2 countries that really do Halloween too hard.
I was thinking kind of high. Makes sense. I was thinking kind of high too for cowboys because it's pretty timeless. You could still be a cowboy today, And I remember being a cowboy as a kid at one point. So I'm gonna go with an 82 for me for Cowboys.
Western movies are it's horror and then Western for me. So I'm gonna give Cowboys an 85 because
oh man,
I like that.
Yeehaw!
Yeehaw! We're starting off with high numbers already. Mickey and Minnie Mouse,
I know.
the Disney characters. Are they related? Are they fucking married? Are they both? Who knows?
I always thought they were together. Yeah.
I always thought they were
Married, I
together
guess.
too.
If they got the same last name. Matt.
So, like, what would you rate Mickey and Minnie Mouse, Peter?
75.
For me, I'm honestly going to give them a little bit of a lower score just because their costumes, I think it would be a little harder to make unless you're just doing a cheesy little Mickey Mouse ears or whatever. But yeah, I'm going to give them a 64.
64. You know what? I'm giving them a 42 because that's not something that I don't feel like that's something that I would do. Next is Davy Crockett. And like this is one that's pretty still timeless. I think people still do this once in a while.
Yeah, I definitely did Davy Crockett one year for sure, where I had this coonskin hat and everything.
I was about to say squirrel hat, but you're right. It's a coonskin. Yeah. Take a lot of squirrels to make a fucking hat. Peter, what do you say?
I'll give it 77.
77. Keith?
I'm going to be very close with him and give it a 78.
78.
Do you get a calculator for all this? You're just like going to do like the average?
And then I'm going to calculate it out at the end and see which one has the highest score. I'm going to give Davy Crockett a 76 myself. I've never done it, but it's something that I would like to do. Well, that's it for the 1950s. Now let's move on to the 1960s. In the 1960s, Halloween was becoming a lot larger at this point. Like, as far as costumes and all that, and the costumes started to become more like celebrity focused, you'll notice. So in the 1960s, the top 3 costumes were Hula Girls, Sonny and Cher, and the Addams Family, like could be Gomez or Morticia or the one with all the hair thing. No, It.
Oh yeah.
It. Yeah. Cousin It.
Cousin It. Yeah. You're taking a lot of bong hits. It's making me jealous.
Sorry, sir.
He's frozen at my end.
I've been busy all day, so I have not been able to partake in the bong hits.
Oh, that's absolutely fine. So, let's start with Hula Girls. Peter, what do you say?
I will give them 85.
85. Keith?
Hula Girl. Peter, give it 85? That seems pretty high to me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna do that one with a 45.
45. I'm gonna be honest. I've been a Hula Girl.
Well, I mean,
I don't think
I could do. I guess.
Hey.
Oh, sorry to cut. Yeah, I was just thinking that. Like, to be honest, that's something I probably would do. I just never did.
Hula Girl. I've definitely been a Hula Girl, but I don't think it was for Halloween. I think it was just at a party.
You still have this Halloween, Keith. Still got time to get yourself some coconut bra and a grass skirt.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy costume, yeah.
I'm going to give Hula Girls a 69. Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. WGW, we gonna go wild.
So what about Sonny and Cher?
Like people dress up as Sonny?
Oh yeah, I've seen that. It's a group costume, yeah, a couple costume.
It's a couple costume. You can get like the Sonny wig still, you know. He had like a specific haircut.
Well, I've done that as at a karaoke bar one time. I got some random girl to sing "I've Got You, Babe" with me for karaoke. It's like a pretty good little pickup line, you know, like get somebody to hang out with you, sing a song.
It's a good call there.
It's awesome. What do you rate it?
What do I rate it? I will give it. I just well, I think you gotta consider the time. Maybe back in, I mean, obviously they were a lot bigger then than now. I mean, I don't think too many people are dressing up as Cher nowadays, even though she's still around. But I'll give it a 73.
73.
Yeah, I would say because it's something I've seen around more than once, and but again, nowadays it's rare and rarer. I'm gonna give it a straight 50, right in the middle.
50.
So nowadays it would be Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox. They're the big celebrity couple nowadays.
Honestly, that's a really great fucking comparison, actually.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
Sonny and Cher, you know, I have a lot of respect for Cher. You know, I'm not like the biggest fan of her music, but some of those songs like hit right sometimes, okay? So I'm going to give it an 82.
Ooh, nice.
What about the Addams Family? And like I said, this is the Addams Family in general. It's not any one of them specifically. It's any one of them.
I'm going to say 82.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the 84 on the Addams Family. I do like them. I think it's the most Halloween on point with, like, you know, the kind of the theme I think of when I think of Halloween. And to be clear, I'm just going based off of what I personally think, like how cool I think that costume is. I don't know.
That's all this tournament really is the popularity of these costumes, and who wins this is all based off of what the fuck we like and nobody else. I'm going to give the Addams Family a 91 because I think the Addams Family is not only good entertainment, but is one of the most important entertainments that has ever happened to just entertainment, because it's so amusing and has gone on for so long. Yeah. like I don't care. Even the new Addams Family movies, the animated ones, even those are fucking good. Like, they're so good.
Who came first, the Addams Family or the Munsters? Did you ever watch the Munsters?
Yeah, man, and Rob Zombie's remaking it right now, which is fucking amazing. Nice. Yeah, he's already casted Sherry Moon Zombie as the mom, and honestly, I think it was a great choice. I think it was a fantastic choice. She looks great with the hair and the dress and everything. They've rebuilt the house and the entire town and everything in this like abandoned lot somewhere. But the Addams Family did come first.
Are they doing a movie then? Rob Zombie?
Yeah.
Is it going to be
It's going to be a movie, but I think the idea is to try to set off another TV series. But not with like Sherry Moon Zombie or anything, you know?
Yeah, just somebody else would pick it up and run with it. So.
But yeah, the Addams Family came first. It was originally French, a French comic, like children's story book. They're super old too, from like 1890s and stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then the Munsters was like 1940s or 50s or something like that. So that's the end of the 60s. Now we're jumping into the 1970s. That's a fucking terrible disco. And it's funny because I don't know, the 1970s popular costumes make sense, a lot of sense. We had Richard Nixon, Elvis, and Michael Myers.
Nice. So, Richard Nixon, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's when they started making those masks of presidents, is in the 70s. Oh, yeah. So it's just really popular with Watergate and the mask. Excuse me.
Yeah, he's got a lot of quotes, a lot of famous quotes you can use.
I gotta ask you quickly before we go on. Is my microphone clear right now?
Oh yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Good. Because my headphones are broken, so it sounds weird to me. So What say you about Richard Nixon?
I will give it a 75.
I'm gonna go exactly the same with a 75.
You know what's funny? Is that out of all of those presidential masks, I think that's the best one. And I'm going to give it a 75 as well.
Nice. I would agree with you, too. I think it's the best one.
Yeah, it's like the one that's always used in movies, right? It's always like that and like George Bush Sr. He's dead now, right? Like the dad?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He
Indeed.
skydived when he was turned like 85 or something.
Oh, shit. I didn't know that. That's amazing.
Yeah, I remember that. Seeing him come down on the parachute, he looks so fucking frail. So Elvis, how's about that for a costume?
Oh, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah,
Like,
I feel like that's a
50s in his
timeless.
prime Elvis, or Vegas overweight and bloated Elvis?
Well, that's the best part. Is it encompasses, I think, all. You can
Oh, yeah.
consider all of those.
I think like Elvis is such a great costume because like it doesn't matter your own body type, you can still be Elvis no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
What do you score it?
I will give an 85.
God, that's crazy, dude. I was literally already thought of my number, and it's 85. I'm not gonna lie. I literally was like thinking about it before he said it.
I would love to give this an 85 because that would just be fucking great. But
I think it'd be easier to do the math.
I'm going to give it a 92 because the Elvis costume is probably the most. It's like outside of Halloween. Like think about it. It's probably the most used costume outside of Halloween.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Like it's used all over the place.
Like there's literally conventions just for it.
Yeah.
And that movie, 3,000 Miles to Graceland, Kurt Russell, Christian Slater.
It would be a good. You'd really have to be like a kind of extrovert to pull that off at parties, because it's not like say certain kinds of Ghost. If you don't want people to talk to you, just wear a sheet over yourself. You can kind of hide in the background, but like people are gonna be expecting you to do quotes and like fancy moves.
Someone give me a cheeseburger. I haven't eaten in 10 whole minutes.
Keith, you got to be an Elvis impersonator for a soap video. That'd be a great one.
Ooh, that would be a good one, dress like Elvis, and then do like the poses and shit.
Yeah, just have like a big pompadour wig. Like it'd be funny, just like keep the beard, but then you have this a big wig on and like some jumpsuit.
Next for the 1970s is another very important costume, I personally think, and that's Michael Myers, the man with the white mask. And did you know that the Michael Myers mask is actually a Captain Kirk mask, like a William Shatner mask? Because they had no money to make their own mask, so they went to the store, who bought it, cut the eyes out a little bit and painted it white and dyed the hair blonde. That's what they did.
I did. I didn't know the details like that, but I did know it was a William Shatner mask originally.
Yeah, it's funny when you put them next to each other, and then you're like, wow, it really fucking is, actually. That's why all the masks after the first movie are it's never looked the same as the first one. Even the really new movies, they can't use his likeness anymore.
Oh, there's a reason they said that? Well, probably with the lawyers getting involved.
Yeah, it's like a whole like legal thing. Like that's why everyone's always like, I hope they use the original mask. Well, it's never gonna fucking happen. They literally just stole that whole likeness.
Amazing.
It's the hash, man. It makes me giggly. What do you rate it, Peter?
I know. I thought you had some midgets tickling you or something as giggly as you were getting. I thought there's something going on beneath the scenes or something.
Some fucking gnomes.
Yeah.
What do you rate Michael Myers?
I'm gonna give him 97.
Sorry, what? What?
Oh,
97.
97. Damn.
97?
Yeah.
Oh man, this is not good. Well, I mean, it is good, I guess. I was debating between 96 and 99. Since Peter said 97, I'm not going to copy him. I'm going to go with 98.
98. I'm going 94. Jesus Christ! I think we have a one that's in the lead already. Clearly here now.
Oh yeah, indeed.
We'll do like a top 3 thing. You know, we'll do like a top.
Kind of like Y2K. You know what I mean? It was like the Y2K one. It was like, well, it's going to be impossible.
Oh, the Y2K one, yeah. As soon as YouTube took the lead, it was like, fuck.
Yep. YouTube.
Let's move on to the 1980s. And now this is where I think I personally started really, like, this is where I've been all of these costumes now. Because I was a kid then. Anyways, in the 1980s, we have the Ghostbusters, Michael Jackson, and Freddy Krueger.
Oh, yeah. God damn, these are solid.
E.T. didn't make the list, or like the Karate Kid?
Sorry, what?
Oh.
I'm surprised E.T. or the Karate Kid didn't make the list.
They were there, but I just took the top 3. Like, the thing that I read had like 20 costumes from each decade, and I just took the first 3, honestly, that were in the article under those decades. Nice. Like I said, we could do this again next year, and there will be a whole slew of other costumes, you know?
Yeah, we could do different ones.
Oh, yeah. So Ghostbusters, what do you rate them? It's pretty iconic.
Like with the proton pack and all that?
I mean, yeah.
I had that shit. I'm not gonna lie. I was a Ghostbuster, and I had the full proton pack. I had the fucking foot slider thing where you press on it and it opened up with your foot.
It just reminds me of Stranger Things. That's what they dressed up. I'm gonna give it an 87.
87.
Ghostbusters, for some reason, because it was with Ghost, man, the busting ghosts. It makes me think of Halloween. I was Ghostbuster. I love the cartoon. I love the movies. I had all the toys. I was Ghostbuster probably more than once. I'm going to give it a 97.
I got to be honest with you. Ghostbusters, one of my favorite things of all time. And if you listen to the episode we did with just me and Megan, which was like the best thing to ever happen to the 90s, Ghostbusters fucking almost won that whole fucking thing. I'm giving Ghostbusters a 98 because it's just fucking like... Have you ever just watched Venkman get slimed in that hotel for the first time in the first movie? That shit is classic.
Indeed. Dude, yeah, the cartoon, I loved the shit out of it too, and I love the movies, but it was my second favorite after Ninja Turtles. Like how you're saying, it's one of your favorite things of all time. Like, Ninja Turtles was my top. Most everybody that knows me knows that, but Ghostbusters is easily my number 2 like favorite thing all the time. Just saying.
Yeah, I would 100% agree. Michael Jackson. How about that as a costume? The King of Pop with the one glove.
Yeah, like it's like Elvis too. It's great because you could do all different types of Michael Jacksons.
Oh yeah, white kid. I could be Michael Jackson in his later years.
That's right. Get the fedora,
No, because I mean, he used to be black. Now he's white. You know what I mean by that.
Oh yeah.
What do you rate this one?
What do I rate it? I will give it 84.
84.
I'm gonna give it I'm gonna go with the 80. 80 with Michael Jackson.
I'm going with an 83.
Dude, those red jacket. What was that from? Was that from the Beat It video where he had the red jacket? That was like the coolest thing with all the zippers. Like, when kids would wear that at school, that was like the coolest jacket ever.
Yeah, that was Beat It, and then he had a really cool jacket in Thriller as well. That had like a bunch of buckles on it. That was really dope. Freddy Krueger, the man who fucking kills children
in their nightmares, dude.
You know what's really fucked up?
Attacks and nightmares.
So I used to live with a man named Russ Fox. He's a like super famous body modificator, and like his idol is Freddy Krueger. Like it's his fucking idol. He had a personally made glove. He's met Robert Englund like tons of times and like done like videos and pictures with him. And then I was sitting there like smoking a joint with him, and I was like, "Do you realize that Freddy Krueger literally like raped and killed children before the town people caught him and killed him?" He was like, "Oh."
I thought I think they play it different in different ones. I thought there was one where it's like he was innocent, but they like accused him of it or some shit. And that's why he came back. He's like, "Oh, fuck you guys! I didn't even do this. I'm gonna fucking kill all your children now."
Wait, did they? They did do that in one of them, didn't they? Where like
it was innocent. One of the newer redo. Yeah, one of the newer ones they did.
Was it the remake?
Yeah, well, I can't remember what year that was. Like, I want to say 2015, 2016, some shit like that.
The remake was 2010. I think it was the year after the Friday the 13th remake.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. They were back to back. I remember that too.
Yeah, but honestly, like the Friday the 13th remake was a fucking masterpiece. Like they had,
that one was super
I didn't think there was a way to make Jason Voorhees like better, but they honestly like did. They honestly did. I don't know why they never did a sequel to it. But the remake to Nightmare on Elm Street was really good. I think it was really scary. Really scary. Like scary like the first original one, because you know how like the second one and everyone after that, Freddy Krueger became like a clown,
Yeah, exactly. It was like a goofy, cheesy horror. Yeah.
What do you rate Freddy Krueger?
I'm just gonna give him. I'm just giving a 78.
78, nice. Freddy, I'm gonna give him a 82.
I don't know why I took a bite right before I was gonna talk. I give this one a 79.
So we're up to the 90s now, right? I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Party time, excellent. Woo, woo, woo.
Yeah, you know what? There's things like the Ninja Turtles and Wayne's World that I thought, and like Austin Powers, that I thought were going to be like on the top. But it was a whole other set of costumes. Well, that were the first three anyways. And they're still good. We're dealing with the Power Rangers, Ghostface, and characters from The Matrix.
Oh, okay.
So
that makes sense.
And honestly, I've beaten all of these. I was Ghostface multiple years in a row.
I was going to say, I was Ghostface multiple years in a row, too. but I was not the others. My brother was Power Ranger.
Power Rangers is easy. You just pick a color. I always liked being red.
You say Ghostface, what, from Scream?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What do you rate
my
Power
brother
Rangers?
was named...
Sorry, what are you saying?
Oh, no worries. My brother's name was Tommy. We call him, Tom now. But growing up, everyone called him Tommy, so he was always the Green Ranger. Tommy.
That's awesome.
The Green Ranger. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Peter. What is your... Oh, my bad.
Wait, we're voting on the Ghostface?
No, Power Rangers.
Power Rangers.
Power Rangers.
I'll give them 88. That's a fun one for kids. And if they have friends, they could all like have different colors and be the whole team.
Yep.
What do you rate it, Keith?
Good point. It's a good point. And because of Peter just bumped me up because I was thinking in the high 80s, but I'm gonna give it 90. 90.
Oh wow.
Group Becker.
Simply because Power Rangers was targeted towards me. Like specifically as a kid that grew up in the 90s, because I have been Power Ranger, and it's still on the air. Kids are still Power Rangers.
Exactly.
When I lived in the house the last 2 Halloweens, I mean, even when I was at Russ's place doing trick or treating there's always kids being Power Rangers. I'm gonna give it a 94.
Oh man.
Now we're talking about Ghostface, which is one of probably the most iconic fucking Halloween masks of all times in current days. Because, like, if you were to ask me to pick out a Halloween mask out of the top of my head, I'd probably say Ghostface immediately. It really is probably. I don't know if it's the most common mask, but like they have the ones that bleed too. You can squeeze the thing. They're awesome. So what do you rate Ghostface?
Ghostface? I'll just give it 82.
82. I have to agree or echo with Kevin that I was Ghostface multiple times. I think back-to-back years, and maybe even a year after, like 2 years later. Because it was an easy costume and I already had it, but it was also awesome, so it worked all the time. So I'm gonna give it a high one. I'm gonna give it a 95.
What's your favorite scary movie? I love on TikTok how they switched up the automated voices, and for Halloween they have Ghostface on there. I'm gonna give it a 96.
Oh man.
Next on the list is the Matrix characters, and they only had Neo and Morpheus, but I'm gonna say, in general, Matrix characters, because I know somebody dressed up like Tank. Tank was awesome.
And I saw the girl too. I can't remember her. Trinity. I definitely saw a few Trinities.
Trinity, yeah. I kept right as I was writing this down, I was trying to remember her name, and I kept saying Lily, thinking that's not fucking right. That's from that other show I was watching. What do you rate the Matrix?
I'm gonna give it a I'll give it a 81.
Yeah, for me, I like the Matrix, and I think making the costumes would actually not be too hard to do, which is kind of cool. But I never was any of the characters for Halloween, and I don't see it that often, so I'm going to give it a 78.
Now, I remember specifically one year that I was Neo for Halloween because I kept doing the fucking for the candy, I'm going to give it a 79. I love those fucking movies. And when I saw the trailer for the fourth one, honestly, I got a little emotional because it looked amazing. And like, I watched Matt Pat Megan says he hates that guy. Well, he did a film theory where he broke down the trailer and was trying to explain what this Matrix was going to be about in his best logical mind. And he was explaining, like, what is it, the third movie or the second movie, when he meets the creator and the creator says the first Matrix was a perfect Matrix, but it didn't work because there needs to be, like, it can't be perfect. So the second iteration of the Matrix was a nightmare Matrix, where it was the complete opposite and just a nightmare. And then he said every time a new iteration of the Matrix is made, parts of the old ones come through. So by the time we got to the movies, you know, like the twins with like the white hair, you know how like they turned into ghosts and shit because they're like iterations of the nightmare Matrix coming through, you know?
Oh,
right. And how there's like part of like a werewolf dude in like the third, I think it's the second movie. There's like a hairy ass motherfucker, kind of looks like a werewolf. And like Matt Pat was saying, like, yeah, this is like part of the nightmare Matrix making its way into the third iteration where the movie is based. And then in the new movie, at the end of the Matrix 3, remember they rebooted the Matrix? And it went from that green tint to like really like oversaturated pastel colors and shit. And then in the trailer, they use that same palette for all the shots in the trailer. So the theory is that this is the fourth iteration of the Matrix, and the whole thing's just like the one is just a computer program. But that's just a theory based off just the trailer.
Damn.
Sorry, I got really into that.
No worries.
What
I'm
are we
excited
doing?
to see it.
Yeah, me too, bro. Like, so I'm way more hyped for this than John Wick 4, which I'm also hyped for. Way more for the
all the John
Matrix.
Wicks are sick. But yeah, I agree. It's been a long time for the Matrix. You know what I mean? Where John Wicks, they've been popping out bam bam lately. Matrix.
Yeah, and I like how fast the John Wicks are coming out. They're coming out good, steady pace, and they're making them all real good. But I'm so excited for this.
I'm still waiting for the Lake House too. That was a good movie. Did you see that? The Lake House with Keanu Reeves.
Is that the one where he puts the notes in the mailbox and it like goes
it's like
the past
and
the future?
A time travel romantic comedy. It's not really a comedy, but it's like romantic. It's like a chick, almost like the Notebook but with Keanu Reeves. It's like one of those. It's like sci-fi romance.
It was Sandra Bullock, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's like super cheesy romance. It's almost like something written by Nicholas Sparks or something. I think it literally was, actually.
I think that Keanu Reeves he knows that he's like this huge action star, and then every once in a while he does one of those movies where he's just like, you know, I'm just gonna do this. Like the Lake House or that one called Knock Knock, where he answers the door and the girls like kidnap him, like tie him up in his own house. Fuck, awesome movie.
I saw that crazy movie, dude. I did see that one too.
Actually, so good. I thought it was gonna be terrible, but it was great.
I forgot that it was called Knock Knock, but yeah, the door and they fucking kidnapped him in his house.
That was Eli Roth, man. He's so good at making movies.
I like Eli Roth.
Well, let's go from the 90s into the 2000s. So in the 2000s, we have Harry Potter, Spider-Man, because of Sam Raimi's movies, and Captain Jack Sparrow, the drunken sailor. I personally fucking hate Harry Potter, but it's only because I don't like J.K. Rowling as a person. Well, I couldn't get into the stories as a kid. Like, I couldn't do it. I fucking could not do it.
Not gonna lie, I was never into Harry Potter.
Like,
I've seen the movies now because Veronica was, so she watches them anytime they're on, and I've seen them all now. I think, and they're not as bad as I remembered, but I'm still, it's not. Lord of the Rings has always been better to me. I feel like it's like a Star Trek, Star Wars thing where it's like Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, and I've always been Lord of the Rings. fan.
What about Game of Thrones?
I never even seen Game of Thrones, but I've
Oh,
heard
man.
it.
I watched the first episode of Game of Thrones and I was like, I can't do this, bro. I can't fucking do this. That's why it took me 10 years to watch the third Lord of the Rings after the first two. Because I'm not into that kind of world, medieval fantasy kind of world stuff, you know?
Medieval old stuff, yeah.
Yeah, like, not the biggest fan of it. No.
I mean,
I love
you gotta know the backstory and the characters and the different type of races and all that, like the elves and the orcs.
I relate.
I can do
I
that,
just relate
but
to
in
the Hobbit.
space.
Yeah.
Like, I go into the Star Trek world and there's all the races to learn and all the different... They actually have written languages in Star Trek. Other real... Like, Klingon is a thing.
True. Yep. I heard about that. That's crazy.
What were we talking about? Oh, Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
What do you rate Harry Potter as a costume? Fucking zigzag.
Harry Potter. Okay. I know. I think it's a good costume. I'm gonna say 86.
What do I think of Harry Potter? I would eat Harry Potter. He looks delicious. But I'll I'll give him 71.
I fucking hate Harry Potter. I'm giving it a 3.
Oh.
That's gonna mess up the average. It's gonna really tinker with the curve there.
You know what's funny? Daniel Radcliffe, literally one of my favorite actors. Fuck, hate those movies.
Dude, it's true. He's a really good actor. I've seen some good movies with him.
Bro, after Harry Potter
always
was
thought
done, his first movie was The Woman in Black, you know, that horror movie, where he was still like 23 years old and he was playing like a single father in the 1800s, but he nailed it. He fucking nailed it. It was so good.
That was a good movie.
See that one where he was in the jungle? He had to cut the parasite out of his forehead.
Oh no, I want to see that though. I have it on my it's like on a list I have of movies I want to see.
Bro, yeah, it's based on a real story.
I can't remember what that's called.
Yeah, I don't remember what it's called, but
What?
him and his buddy in real life, this happened to these guys where they were trapped in the Amazon and the one had to leave the other behind to go for help. And then the other one, I think the one who was trying to go for help was Daniel Radcliffe, but then he like went fucking crazy and shit. It was awesome. And I kept thinking that there was like a good 20 minutes in the movie where I was like, is his fucking forehead moving? Like, what's going on? And then, yeah, he cuts it out.
Oh.
Spider-Man. That's a pretty good costume. That's timely, and I thought it would have been in the top 3 like earlier than that because Spider-Man is from like the fucking 20s.
He's been around.
Yeah,
exactly.
But I think
That's
Sam
cool that he
Raimi's
made it
movies
into,
popularized it a lot.
Yeah, that's which ones were those? Sam Raimi?
Sam Raimi, yeah.
He's the actor?
No, he's the director. Sam
where
Raimi's the guy who created the Evil Dead.
Oh, Evil Dead. I love Evil Dead.
Topher Grace's Venom. Why can't I remember Peter Parker's name?
Yeah, I forget it, but I know what you mean. It's the one with the first one was Green Goblin. The second one was Dr. Octopus. The third one was Sandman.
What the fuck was that
okay.
Spider-Man's name? Why can't I remember it? The shit out of me.
Just that one
guy.
guy.
Right? I can't think of his name. Should we cheat with the dude?
Why can't I can remember Tom?
Yeah, Tom Holland. No, I could look up IMDb or no, Sam Raimi. Spider-Man. Spider-Man 2002 film. Oh, here we go. Oh no, here.
Tobey Maguire. I
Yeah.
didn't even look it up. I just remembered it. I was.
Oh.
Tobey Maguire. Is that
And
it?
Willem
Maguire? Is that right?
Willem
That's
Dafoe
correct.
as the Green Goblin, and J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson. Mr. What's he do? He does like State Farm Insurance or something. Or what's that insurance he does? Farm Insurance. Or Jake's from Jake. No, it's something. He does some insurance commercials nowadays.
Does he?
It's like we know about everything because we've seen everything.
The only commercials I get are from YouTube, and they might be different in Canada than they are in America.
Oh, James Franco was in there. Isn't James Franco kind of a?
This is buddy Harry Osborn.
Yeah.
James Franco's career is over.
Yeah, doesn't he have like some scandals or something? He's like a pervert, like kind of.
Well, some women came out with some allegations, and I think if they were false, they were false. But what actually happened is that when they came out, Seth Rogen and a whole bunch of other people were like, we've cut connections from him. So I think that kind of proves that something weird went on there, and it's not false. So yeah, he's a bit of a fucking weirdo.
Seth Rogen is disowned him, like, you know it's going to be bad. I mean, they were in so many Pineapple Express, the interview. They were like quite the comedy duo back in the day.
Well, those guys have been, they like started their careers together, on that show Freaks and Geeks. Like Seth Rogen and James Franco and like Jason Sudeikis and the guy from How I Met Your Mother. And a whole bunch of them were like on that show together and like became friends. And then if you notice, they always did stuff together forever until now. Now it's fucked because James Franco's a rapist. I'm going to say it. He drugged that girl and raped her. Pretty sure that's what happened.
So wait, which costume were we on now?
Oh, right. Spider-Man. Man, that took a weird turn. Spider-Man. What do you rate Spider-Man?
Oh, I love Spider-Man. I'll give him a 93.
I had my number, and it's before Peter said it, and it's 92. Very close.
I honestly was going to give it a 91. The next costume is Captain Jack Sparrow. I'll tell you where the rum went. You fucking drank it.
I like Captain Jack, and the character is awesome, and the costume is pretty fun to see. I always saw that out at bars.
Well, I'll give it an 89.
Peter. 89, nice, fair ranking. I think I'm gonna give it a 93.
Very good score. I'm gonna give it a 90. I fucking love opening the door and seeing a little fucking tiny Jack Sparrow.
Tiny
that shit's
one,
the bomb.
yeah. Super cute too. I went trick-or-treating with Priscilla a couple of years. And I wore this costume, actually, and trick-or-treated. Got myself a bunch of candy.
That's awesome.
But anyways, yeah, I definitely saw some little Jack Sparrows. It was super cool, like you're saying.
So let's move into the 2010s, which I honestly, as I was writing this down, my brain was like, I can't even believe I was calling 2010 its own decade. We're literally in the 20s, man. We're literally in the 20s. So the 2010s, and then after this decade, we have our 4 wild cards. But the 2010s, we have Harley Quinn, characters from Frozen, like Ella, her name is, and Olaf, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And
I think it's
characters from the movie Avatar.
Ooh, Avatar. Wow, okay. Yep.
So, what do you rate Harley Quinn? I mean, that costume is still done by women and men.
Oh yeah. Yep. I'm a big fan of that one. It's a good looking Harley Quinn right there. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good adult costume. I wouldn't recommend kids wearing it. I mean, it's not exactly family friendly. I mean, it's kind of a slutty costume. I don't know.
I mean, it can be done unsluttily for little
They have
children.
exactly. They have the like cartoon version of
like
the.
if your kid is like 7 years old. Oh, the cartoon version, it doesn't fucking matter if I see a little kid. But like, if I see a little kid dressed up like the movie Suicide Squad version, like, why is that little kid watching that fucking movie? That's my question. Just to see Adam Beach's head get fucking blown off. So what do you rate Harley Quinn?
I'll give it a 76.
We haven't had too many female costumes, I'd say.
I noticed that
there's
too.
definitely been ones that are like unisex, but for this one, because of that, I think I'm gonna give it a little higher. I'll give it an 88.
Oh man.
I like this costume. It's done well, even when it's done bad. I give it a 90. We're on to the characters from Frozen. And personally, I've never seen these movies. But I've seen tons of little kids dressed up like this shit, and adults. So.
Yep, yeah, adults do too.
What are the movies even about? Is she like made of ice or something, or like she's like the queen of the winter?
She's got ice powers, and she doesn't know how to control them at first, so she runs away and like hides herself out in the forest and builds an ice fortress. I've seen these movies with Priscilla, and she watches so many times. I don't like it. For the longest time, I'd always fall asleep, so I never knew what happened. But eventually, I've seen it all. Anyways, she goes out. She builds her ice fortress, and then her sister is trying to find her. So her sister goes out and almost dies going through the winter in the forest and shit. And she finds some other dude. She thinks he's like a nice guy, but he's not. And then she brings Elsa back, and happily ever after, whatever. The second one, I don't remember. I saw it once, and I don't remember what happens.
But it doesn't matter. You've explained enough.
There you go. That's the general idea.
Sounds like something I wouldn't like.
Indeed. Olaf, though, is the best character for sure. The snowman. So, and he's a funny comedian that's in a lot of other movies, too. He's a good actor. I don't know his name off the top of my head, but the voice of Olaf, good dude.
Was it the guy, what's his name? Andy, you know the guy that played Gollum? He's like a really good character actor. I have a feeling that was him. Wait, I gotta look this up now.
I have no idea, though, to be honest.
Frozen.
Yeah, Olaf. Olaf. Look that up.
Oh, Josh Gad. Oh, that guy.
Yeah, Josh Gad, that guy.
Oh, that guy's really fucking funny.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's the saving grace to the Frozen movies because he's pretty, still cheesy kid humor, but he's still funny. And I like him.
Yo, my phone.
Like to sit.
My phone just said there's an earthquake detected in California, in the Lassen Peak area.
Sure. Can you feel it, Keith? Oh man.
That's look. I've got to discuss this conspiracy with you guys right now. You know how there's that volcano going off in I don't know wherever Greece or whatever, and it's destroying that town. It's destroying that town, right? All of these seismic detector apps, when you download them and go to that area, show 0 seismic activity around that volcano. That's kind of fucking weird, right?
Wait, where's this volcano
yeah,
at?
It's like destroying this town right now. I think I want to say Greece. Volcano. It was like a tourist attraction. Yes. Oh, it's in Spain. And they suspect that it's going to go on for 3 more months, and there's like 75,000 people that are still like in this town, and the lava's already destroyed a bunch of homes, but they like are refusing to leave. And there's like zero seismic activity there, though. It's really fucking strange. It's a weird conspiracy. It's one that I'm going to go into more like on the next episode that we do with the conspiracy thing. Right, back to this. Frozen characters. What do you rate that?
I mean, it's not something I'm a fan of personally, but I know a lot of kids like it, so I'll just give it 85.
Very generous, I would say. I'm with Peter, though. I'm not a big fan of it, but I do know tons of kids, even personally, who love it. And it was hella fucking popular with all the girls that were in Priscilla's generation here. So I'm going to give it a 82. I'll give it an 82.
I know it's popular, but I've never seen the movies. And when I see people wearing the costumes, I have no feelings. So 17.
17, 17? Oh, man.
Yeah. The next one from the 2010s is characters from Avatar. I don't know what the fuck you call those blue big dicked motherfuckers.
I can't remember. Yeah.
I've never been able to finish the movie. I just can't. I just don't like it.
I don't know.
Are they ever going to have the sequels come out? Like, I think they missed their momentum. Like, people are going to lose interest. It's been like 10 years.
That's what I think. Okay, so they have both the next 2 of them filmed, and it's cost like $2 billion or something to film them. And they filmed them like back to back. Honestly, I think they've spent so much money at this point that they're gonna flop.
Yeah.
Like, how the fuck are they expected to make back $2 billion? I don't think they're gonna get the same momentum they got on the first movie. I don't know.
It's not because like Star Wars, yeah, they came out with movies like after 20 years or whatnot, but it's like Star Wars is much more established, universe, all that.
Star Wars has like a solid fan base, though. I mean, Avatar. People at the time were like, Avatar is fucking amazing. But, like, I've always hated that movie. Never been able to finish it. And when you talk to people nowadays, they're always like, yeah, meh.
Yeah.
So exactly. Like, to rewatch it now, it would be like, I already know. All it is an adult Fern Gully.
I'm not...
That's exactly what it is. They just took Fern Gully
and
made it cooler.
James Cameron 100%. Really has no ideas of his own, right? Because Avatar is Fern Gully mixed with that book called Avatar with flying people in it. The author of that book sued James Cameron, actually, because he stole his idea for a story. Completely.
In that movie Titanic, he just stole that from the Titanic. He didn't even make that up. That was just like an actual thing that happened. He's just like reciting a history story.
Exactly, man. He's got no fucking ideas of his own. He just opened up a textbook and went, yeah, I'll do that.
Oh my god. It's true.
So what do you rate Avatar? The characters, the costumes.
Well, I'll just give it an 82.
82.
82. Man, Peter's being real nice.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I've got nothing. I've got nothing to be nice to Avatar about. It's an okay movie. I was pretty stoked on it when it came out. I thought it was pretty cool. It had good surround sound effects, like pretty trippy visual shit. Like I got super baked when I watched it and thought it was pretty cool. But as a Halloween costume, I don't know. The relevance is weird. the link to Halloween is non-existent. The costumes itself, I don't understand exactly how the fuck that would work. I haven't really seen too many, I guess.
Just have to paint yourself blue.
Yeah, I guess you just paint blue and have orange hair or whatever. But I'm gonna give it a pretty low score, I think. I'm gonna drop it down to a 30.
You said 30? Oh man.
Yeah, 3-0. Whoa. Holy shit.
It's not me or anything. I found that on Google. I'm gonna give these costumes. I don't care about these costumes. I fucking hate the movie. I'll tell you something funny. Went to the theaters when it came out. I don't even think I made it halfway through. I got up and walked out, and everyone was like, "Where are you going?" And I was like, I'm leaving. This sucks. I'm giving it a 2. That's a 2. So, we're done all of our decades from the 50s to the 2010s. So now let's go into our 4 wild cards before we finally tally up the top 3 and then decide from there which is the top 1. So the wild cards, we have witch, mummy, zombie, and ghost. And apparently, when I was reading about this, the witch costume is like, people can't guarantee these numbers, but probably is the most used costume of all time. Like most done costume.
I was a witch as a kid.
I've been a witch a few times. I think I was a witch. Well, I had the hat last year, but I had the plague mask, but it didn't fit, so I couldn't wear the hat. Yeah. What do you rate witch?
I'll just give it a 78.
78 for the witch.
I'm gonna give the witch a 84.
84?
And the witch.
I like this costume. I'm gonna give it an 89. Mummy! Mummy's actually a very hard costume to do when you think all that shit you gotta wrap around you, and it never stays there all night. It never fucking does. It's actually terrible costume to try to do unless you buy one of those really fucking expensive ones. And I live in poverty. I ain't got time for that.
I would agree. I would agree with all those sentiments.
So, what do you rate that one?
Oh, mummy? Okay, I will just say, yeah, 72.
72.
I'm go with flat 70.
Flat 70 from Keith. I'm giving it an 81. Zombie. This is one that I've done a few times. Fake blood, tore up clothes. Easy.
More legit.
All right, I like that one actually. I'm gonna say 93.
Nice. Yeah, I kind of agree with Peter there. I'm a big fan of the zombie. It's good. I've seen really good ones. Even the shitty ones are kind of easy and fun to do too. Just tear some clothes and fucking put a little makeup on, and there you go. But it's fun. It's you can do it any way you want. Super creative, different takes. Even more so than Michael Jackson or Elvis. So I'm gonna give it a high score. I'm gonna give it a 96.
You're right. I personally think this is probably one of the most interchangeable costumes of all fucking time. And for that, I'm going to give it a 99.
Nice.
And finally, Ghost. Jesus Christ, my fish just jumped out of the tank and went back into water. It scared the shit out of me. Sorry, Ghost. Like Patrick Swayze.
Maybe it was a ghost that picked the fish out of the water, and you mentioned the ghost that made an appearance.
I mean, let me just say this to consider, Peter J. E.T. dressed. Did he not dress as a ghost?
Yeah.
And trick or treated? That's what I'm saying. So there you go. That's fucking even people from other planets fucking trick or treat as a ghost. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that is fucking true as shit.
You know what would be meta though, to dress up as ET, dressing up as a ghost. Like you'll have an ET costume, you'll have the ghost hands. That would be next level.
That's some fucking Inception ass fucking costume level awesomeness.
I love that. Yeah, that is really, really sick.
That's so cool. What do you rate Ghost?
Well, Peter, what do you? Yeah.
Well, so well, I'm really lazy, so I like the idea of just being able to put 2 holes in a sheet and calling it a costume. So I'm gonna give it a solid 90.
Well, I love zombies, and I think ghosts are also pretty easy to do and create your own and do different takes on them. You can just be a person painted white with white, pale white, like you're dead, kind of, but not a zombie per se. But I will say I do think zombies are a little better. But ghosts, like I said, E.T. was a fucking ghost. So 95, just 1 point less. 95 for ghost.
I'll tell you, in 2018, I suffered a really bad breakup. And for Halloween that year, I just had no creativity. But what I did decide to do was find the least scariest sheet, and it was one that had all these flowers on it. And I cut out 2 eye holes. And you know what? It's really hard to look through eye holes in a fucking sheet when you do it that way. Like in the movies, you're like, it's like they do it so well. It just stays there right on their eyes. But in reality, those motherfuckers need to be so big, it doesn't work. But what I did do was, it was like pissing rain that year, and I just took the sheet and I just crouched down next to my door into a pile, and then as the kids came running up out of the rain, I just pop up and fucking got every single one of them.
Man.
Every single fucking one of them. Kids don't even like look at their surroundings. All they're focused on is fucking candy.
The candy, yep.
So I'm gonna give this a 97 because it is not as good as a zombie. It's pretty good. Well, we have all our tallies for all of our costumes. So how about we go into some Halloween edition of Spicoli's Surf Report selection while I'll tally up everything. And then at the very end, we'll have our top 3.
Okay.
Sounds tubular, dudes. All right, let me get my notes. I take more notes for this than I ever did in school. All right, dudes. Since this is the Halloween episode, I've got 3 special beaches. We've got Hell's Gate. We've got Hell's Mouth. And Devil's Island. No matter where you go, you're going to burn in hell. Okay. All right, dudes. Let's see. Which beach has the highest waves? Hell's Gate, Hell's Mouth, or Devil's Island?
I'm going to go with Devil's Island.
Yeah, I want to say Devil's Island.
Oh, we can't say the same thing. I'm going to go with, what was the first one again?
Hell's Gate, then Hell's Mouth, and then Devil's Island.
Oh yeah, because there's only 2 of us. Yeah.
I'm gonna switch to Hell's Gate.
I'll stay with Devil's Island.
All right then. That worked out for Kevin because Hell's Gate's coming out with 6 to 10 feet waves, head high to double overhead. That is some gnarly action. And Devil's Island was a nice 4 to 6 feet, which is the size that Keith likes to surf. And then we've got 2 to 3 feet over at Hell's Mouth, which is also a nice, mellow wave. All right, let's see. What shall we do next? How about this? I can make it so. Well, either way, it doesn't matter, I guess. Which beach has the coldest water? Cold water. Hell's Mouth, Hell's Gate, or the Devil's Island?
Hell's Mouth.
I'm gonna go with Devil's Island.
All right, Devil's Island is actually the hottest water. We've got 81 to 82 degrees. Nice and warm. A little board shorts is what it recommends. You don't even need a wetsuit. All right, totally awesome. But Hell's Mouth, fucking chilly, man. 57 degrees. That's gonna shrivel up your testicles. They're gonna be up inside of your body. No, thank you. And then Hell's Gate is also pretty nice. 68 to 70 degrees. Okay, so now it's tied up because we got 1 point for Kevin and 1 point for my main man. Last question, dudes. All right, yeah, here we go. Which beach had the lowest tide? Low tide. We're staying low. Low water temps, low tides.
Devil's Island.
I'm gonna say Hell's Gate.
Oh man. Well, tell you what, the one who is closer is Kevin, with Hell's Gate coming in at a 0.9 feet tide, kind of high tide. But then Devil's Island's a 1.2 feet. But then Hell's Mouth is staying real low with a -6. Don't ask me what that means. I just know there's waves and I know how to surf them. All right. Kevin is the winner for the Halloween episode. Fucking righteous.
Editor Kevin, put in something here, please. And go fuck yourself as well. Awesome.
We'll see if my disappear, my computer might die. It's getting a little better. So.
Okay.
Well, we have our top 3 contenders, and we have our 3rd place, 2nd place, and 1st place winner in the costumes. So 3rd place winner for costumes is Ghost. It's a very good 3rd place winner. 2nd place is Zombie, which makes a lot of sense. And in 1st place, for the #1 best costume of all time as chosen by the Earths Suckhole 2021 is Michael Myers, which I personally agree with.
I agree too.
You know what? That makes a lot of sense.
I think we all agree on that one.
I told you that was going to take a while. Yeah, that was fucking awesome. Is there anything else you guys got?
I think that'll wrap it up for tonight.
Yes, indeed. I agree. That's all I got.
Well, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr. I'm heavy on Twitter. Also, go find us on TikTok, where I post like 10 to 20 TikToks a day. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Hit that notification bell. And you can email us at earthsuckhole@gmail.com. Now, is there anything else I may have forgotten? Oh, yeah. Happy Halloween! And go fuck yourself! That was awesome. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Yeah,
Have a good
that was a
night.
good episode. I
Have a
think
good
it turned
night.
out awesome.
All right. Bye.
Adios.